Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're going to jump into three massive movements that totally changed the game for art and poetry. And you know what? They all boil down to one single powerful question. And that question, it's basically the battleground for the movements we're talking about. Each one has a completely different answer. And honestly, once you get what they were arguing about, it really helps you understand art on a whole new level. So here's the plan. We're going to look at each movement one by one, and then we'll throw them all together for a little showdown to see how they really compare. All right, first up, let's get right into our first contender. This was a movement that was basically a full-on rebellion against the idea that art is supposed to teach you something, have a moral to the story. I mean, you gotta remember, this was a massive deal. It was a total break from the super stuffy moral of the story standards of the Victorian era. Back then, art was supposed to make you a better, more hardworking person. And the aesthetes, they were just over it. They saw the hypocrisy and were like, nope, art gets to play by its own rules. And this phrase, art for art's sake, that was their mantra, their rallying cry. It's so simple, but so powerful. It basically says a piece of art doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't have to teach a lesson or improve your character. Just existing, just being beautiful and giving you that sensory experience. Well, that's more than enough. So when you boil it all down, for the aesthetes, art was all about capturing those intense, personal moments, the feelings, the sensations. It was a total rejection of being told what to think. They believed that art was the only thing that could truly grab a moment in time and just freeze it, make it last forever. Okay, so let's shift gears to our next big idea. As we roll into the 20th century, the world is changing fast, and there's this new wave of artists who are feeling all the anxiety of that change. So what do? They stop looking outside for beauty and start looking deep inside themselves for truth. And this is a huge pivot. If aestheticism was about appreciating the beauty of the world out there, expressionism was about ripping open your own inner world and just throwing it onto the canvas. It was raw, it was messy, it was a gut reaction to this cold, industrializing society and all that anxiety that was bubbling up right before World War I. This is what's so cool about their whole goal. It's a total flip. An expressionist isn't trying to paint a tree so it looks like a photograph of a tree. No way. They're trying to paint what it feels like to be there looking at that tree. The tree itself just becomes a vehicle for all that strong emotion. And this is how they did it. This was their method. These paintings might look chaotic, but it's not like they were making mistakes. They were twisting and distorting reality on purpose. Those aggressive brushstrokes, the wild colors, the weird shapes, those were all just tools in their toolbox to slam you with exactly how they were feeling.
Okay, now get ready for some whiplash. Because at the exact same time, the Expressionists are having these huge emotional explosions on canvas. You've got another group, mostly poets, who are going in the complete opposite direction. They wanted precision, clarity, total control.
Yeah, the Imagists were all about cutting out the fluff. No more flowery language. If Expressionism was like a volcano erupting with feeling, Imagism was like a tiny, perfectly cut diamond. The idea was to take a whole experience and distill it down to one single, sharp, crystal clear image. And you can see how different their goal was, right? They weren't trying to splash their feelings all over reality. They just wanted to present a little slice of reality directly to you. And to do that, they believed you had to use the exact word, not the pretty good word, not the close enough word, the one perfect word that makes you see exactly what they saw. So you get these tenets, these rules pushed by poets like Ezra Pound. And it's basically a manifesto. They're declaring war on blurry, wishy-washy language. For them, poetry was all about concentration. Every single word had to pull its weight. If it didn't contribute, it was out. All right, so we've got our three contenders in the ring. We know what they stand for. Now let's put them side by side for the final showdown and really see where they clash on that big question. What is art for? This chart really lays it all out, nice and simple. You've got aestheticism, all about beauty and the senses. Then there's expressionism, channeling pure emotion through distortion. And finally, Imagism, which is all about capturing one moment with razor-sharp precision. I mean, you couldn't get three more different approaches to art if you tried. And really, That's the big takeaway here, isn't it? There's no single right answer for what art is supposed to do. What these movements really show us is that art is just this incredible, never-ending conversation about how we see the world and how we experience what's going on inside of us, too.
So that brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. After seeing the game plan for these three very different ideas, which ism clicks with you? When you experience art, what are you looking for? Is it the beauty, the raw emotion, or that one perfect, clear moment?